there are 5 different sets of people on the wealth pyramid. There are 5 levels on the wealth pyramid. And whatever level you find yourself in, you need to identify that level so that you can navigate your way out of that level. So let's begin from the lowest level. Because see, on the pyramid or the triangle of wealth, there are people that are at the bottom. And it's always bottom heavy. You know, the triangle, the bottom is the biggest size. That's why we have most people. So the first level, which is the lowest level on that journey, are people that are in what we call financial crisis. Financial crisis. And that is where majority of people operate. As a matter of fact, the United Nations defines living in poverty as living below $2 a day, and living in extreme poverty as living below $1 a day. Amazingly, about 70% of people on the continent live below $1 a day. So that means that when you look at the entire continent of Africa, and that is reflected in most of the nations in Africa, you find that about 70% of the population are in financial crisis. 70% of the population are living in poverty, lack, and hardship. So when you are in financial crisis, you don't have any source of income, or your source of income is not even enough, that you have to live from hand to mouth and practically suffer all through life. When you are in financial crisis, it means that you lack everything that is required for a meaningful life. I hope you know that there are people that live under bridges. There are people that live in shanties all over the world, not only in Africa, all over the world. And these people, they live there. As a matter of fact, something amazing happened in our country just last month. There are people that have been living under a bridge in our country for years. So the government went to demolish the shanties under the bridge last month, and people were shocked that most of the people that were living there have been living there for over a decade, and that they actually pay rent every year. Yeah. That there are actually people that come to collect rent in a wooden shanty. So there were lords that were lording it over people, even in that shanty, including law enforcement. But these people are also, when they say, "Are you alive?" they will say they are alive. But that's the kind of life. So there are people that are in that realm where it's financial crisis, where every time you are talking about money, they don't even understand what they're talking about, because they have not even eaten. They are in financial crisis. But let me tell you something. If you are in that level, just know that that is not the plan of God for your life. And the fact that you are there does not mean that's where you will end. There's something about this God. He has the ability to change the stories of people. The Bible says he raises the poor from the dust and the needy from the dunghill, and he set them among princes, even the princes of the earth. So I believe that there are many people that will come through this week, and by the time we are done with this week, you have an encounter with God, and God will change your story. So number one is what? Financial crisis.